Ahead of local government elections, housing and its availability is a hot topic. Mlungisi Mabaso is the City of Johannesburg's MMC for Housing. I have him in studio. I'm Peter Ndoro, and this is For the Record. What's the situation in terms of housing shortage in Johannesburg? This is a historical issue. It's been there since the beginning of time, I suspect. Where are we now in terms of a shortage?
Well, it's a serious challenge. Currently, we are sitting at 468,000 housing backlog. And in that backlog, you'll also have your informal settlements, which are at 211 and counting, because there are those that are new informal settlements which have not been recognized as yet. Then you've got hostels, you've got hostel dwellers, which are not included in this 468,000. So you are looking at approximately more than 500,000 housing backlog in the City of Johannesburg. And it is a challenge because we are unable to provide houses to at least 10,000 people per financial year. So the last financial year we gave 2,800 houses to beneficiaries, and we are expecting to increase that this financial year, but we are still working towards that. We've been doing allocations ever since I came in as the
Let me
MMC.
get this straight. You're getting an increase in demand for housing at a rate of about 10,000 per year, and you're only able to provide at a rate of just under 3,000. Is that this?
Yes.
Which means every year you're increasing the problem by at least 7,000.
That's correct.
So what are you doing to fix this?
Well, we have tried to introduce other programs because we've come to realize that if we were only going to rely on one program, which is to provide houses only to the residents of Johannesburg, then it's going to take us almost 100 years to address this issue of backlog. So we've then said, let's have alternatives, programs that are going to assist us in trying to address this situation. Then that's when we aligned our programs with the UISP, the Upgrade of Informal Settlements programs, which then provide services, basic services to informal settlements. So it's got phases. Phase one, it's where you do your assessment to check if the informal settlement is situated in a developable land, or they are in a land that will require them to be relocated. So that is the first phase. Then the second phase, it's where then you provide services, in the services like your water, your electricity, your sanitation and road, your access road. Then the third phase is where then you make applications for township establishment. Then the last phase is when then you bring in RDP houses into the stands. So with Joshco, we have launched 3 mega project, at an amount of 1.6 billion. The one is in GP's Town, the other one is in Rivonia, the other one is in Midrand, which is going to provide 3,400 units. But it's not only those ones. Those are just the 3 that we have just recently introduced. We are still looking to get another one in Region G, because we've said we need to have all these social housing projects in all 7 regions of Johannesburg. So this is one of the programs that we have also introduced. But as well, within the inner city, we are acquiring buildings where we are providing low-cost rentals, outside the Social Housing Act. The Department of Housing is also providing for low-cost rentals for those that might not qualify as well on social housing. So we have introduced quite a number of projects to try and address this issue.
Is that helping to accelerate the rate of providing housing? Because remember, as we started this conversation, there was a deficit in terms of people coming in and requiring housing and that which you can provide. With all these interventions, are you seeing that deficit shrinking?
That is the intention.
Yeah.
Remember, I said we need to give at least more than 10,000 per financial year.
Yeah.
Then we will say we are dealing with the issue of housing backlog. So with the current the pace that we are moving with, so it was not making an impact. It was just like a drop in an ocean. So hence we said let's have a number of programs, because we do have mega projects.
All right. So the other issue then, I guess, about unplanned settlements, because this is what these informal settlements are in real terms. You haven't planned for them, people just start staying in certain areas. How do you prevent that becoming an Alexandra, where more people are coming to a certain area than has ever been intended for that area, and then you end up, even the services that you provide become strained and can't cope with the volumes?
Well, the issue is land invasion. You know, it's a serious challenge, but I always say the land invasion is in twofold. There are people who are genuinely looking for places to stay. Then there's a criminal syndicate, people who are illegally selling stands. You know, so we understand it from that context to say we will prevent land invasion, and we are fighting against land invasion. But you know, it happens, sometimes it happens overnight, you know, when we are not aware, and you'll find that members of the community, they don't inform us on time, and others they do, then we request JMPT to go and respond immediately. But now the reality is that when people have started to settle, then we will be compelled by the Constitution to provide basic services. And in order for us to do that, we need to first recognize the informal settlements, but at the same time, we need to check whether the informal settlement is situated in a government-owned land or in a private-owned land. So if it's in a private-owned land, then it's very difficult for us to provide basic services there, because by then doing that, we are inviting the landowner to come and claim for damages in the city. It's something that we cannot afford, you know. And others, when we said, okay, give us this land we want to buy, you know, they will give us their own prices. You know, they wouldn't want to go with the market price, because they will say to you, but I had no intention to sell this land, so I want to make the profit out of it because I had my own planned development for the land.
MMC Mmc, thank you so much indeed for your time, and we wish you the best with this very important and urgent work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.